Well, good morning everybody. This is DearMamaSal on a very overcast Monday morning. It's 12 degrees here in southern British Columbia, which would make it 53 in American. And for the Canadians, it's election day. Now, I've heard that the weather forecast is calling for rain, which makes me very, very glad that I went to the advance polls and put my vote in last weekend. And I will definitely make a point of doing that again, because they tell me that there are a very large amount of people coming out to vote. It'll be interesting to see what the final numbers are. And I believe that this could be a vote against the present government as opposed to a vote for the individual parties. It'll be interesting to see what the result is, as usual. But as I've said time and time again, if you don't bother to vote, don't bother to complain. And so, to me, I'm a great believer is we are given this incredible opportunity, and it should be one that we value and also don't take lightly. Now, owing to the fact they said it was going to rain today, I've got my raincoat on, which means that we'll probably have a beautiful sunshiny day. Alright, first of all, the tip for the day. This came from one of my viewers from the UK, and I didn't know this, so if I didn't know it, the chances are some of you didn't know it either. And that is, hang on to your leftover grease from cooking bacon or whatever, and heat it up until it's good and hot. Obviously in something that has a handle that you can hold on to, because what the viewer told me, if you then take that outside and pour it over your weeds in your flagstones, for example, or your driveway, they won't be there very long. If anybody else has got any magic tips on how to get rid of the weeds in your driveway, feel free to pass them on, because everybody's probably got their own idea and what works best for them. Now, for those of you who are broadcast viewers and those of you who are very regular watchers, you know that I challenged myself this weekend to do something that I have not done in way too long. I don't even want to say how many years. I cleared everything out of my closet. I guess I must have done it within the last 5 years, because I painted the closet inside. Now, that required that I take the things out. However, I think I took everything out and put everything back in again. So this weekend, my challenge was to take everything out and put in a closet organizer. Well, I didn't say I had to put all the clothes back in again or do whatever. Actually, the goal this weekend was just to get everything out. Very important. I did that, and then I hit an emotional 2x4. I realized that my contractor, when he had been putting in the jetted tub in my guest bathroom, had broken through the wall of my closet and sort of thrown some spackle type stuff, filler type stuff on it, and left it. And then put boxes back to cover it. So it was just horrible. And So what I did was I actually sanded it and refilled some of it. I will need to do a bit more probably next weekend and then paint it. However, I got everything out and I gave myself the bonus point for doing that. And I was feeling terrible that I had so much in my closet. And I'm trying to think how many dress sizes I had in there. I think I had 4 different dress sizes in there. And what I tried to do, and it's not easy, was only put in the dress size I actually fit into, and secondly, things that I really did not want to throw away for some sentimental reason, serious sentimental reason. I still have a full closet. I already have sorted a full bag to go to charity, and I've got half a bag to go to garbage. I was actually quite surprised the quality of the clothes was better than I thought it was going to be, which means that they can be of use to somebody else. And I was really feeling very sad about that, about how much I had in there, until last night when I was, or yesterday afternoon when I was doing a broadcast, and one of my viewers came on and said, "Hey, you think you got a problem? You should see what I've got in my closet." And I'm going, "What?" And she said at the last count, I'm just checking here, she had 83 pairs of pants. 83. She had 171 tops. I'm feeling so much better. And 87 pairs of shoes. And I said, "What?" And she has apparently this incredible collection distributed throughout her house. And then apparently not only has she done this, but she has trained her daughter. You remember what we were saying about training ourselves to be fat? Well, she's trained her daughter to be the same, so much so that she's turned a spare bedroom into her daughter's walk-in closet. That's how many clothes her daughter has, that a full spare bedroom is now her wardrobe. Why do I suddenly feel so much better? However, I wanted to talk on another issue that affected me this weekend, because you know I like to do a sort of weekend roundup. One of the things I did this weekend was go and have blood tests done, nothing serious, and I was really upset. I found that the people in the facility really had no understanding of people of my age and older. Now, the majority of people who go in to have blood tests done are, older people. I know some younger people go in, but, majority are older people. They're talking at 155 words a minute plus. You know what I mean? They're talking jargon. This is a CVC or whatever, I don't know what it is, type jargon. They're pointing in a general sort of way, going, well, you need to take a seat over there. So when they did that, I went back to reception, which is where the general sort of handshake was. And then seconds later, this very pissed off is the only word I can use, technician said, "Not here, over there." I have no idea where over there is. So by now I'm beginning to feel stupid. And I don't know if any of you relate to this, but once you start that "I'm feeling stupid now" type feeling, everything starts to go wrong. You don't hear as well, you don't react as well, or whatever. So I'm getting really confused. And eventually I found the right place. But by now I'm upset. Not a good thing when you're about to have blood taken. I have to have blood taken out of my hand because, as some of you heard, my veins don't like giving up their blood. My veins are hoarders as well. I'm not a hoarder. Just feels like it. Anyway, so then when they finished, and by the way, it was not easy. My blood comes out very slowly, drip by drip. And then this technician goes, I didn't understand a word of what she said. I'm still in sort of, what do you call it, defense mode, because it wasn't easy taking the blood out, therefore it's more painful. Automatically my body language is to rub the hand where it was. That's interesting. Anyway, it was a very unpleasant experience. And I'm not quite sure what I want to do about it. I think I need to do something. There's part of me that's been a teacher of customer service for a lot of my life in different ways. There's part of me that wants to actually offer to do a quick talk on dealing with people of my age and older. The other thing that upset me, and I know that might not be fair, was that they spent a lot of time talking to each other, and then it was like talking to the client, that was me, was an interruption of the conversation they were having. I hate that. Anyway, that was the downside of my weekend. The upside was, of course, that I did the achievement. Now, you're probably asking me, how did I do with the steps? How did I do with my movement? Yay, I hit my goal. You will remember my goal was to average 6,100 steps a day. That was what I wanted, was the average. And I started on a back foot because it had been Thanksgiving weekend and I didn't do very much on the Sunday, Monday. So I knew I had to put in extra effort to make the goal. I believe I finished, I'll take a picture of it for you guys. I finished, if I remember, I finished with averaging 63, I think, a day. I was very proud of myself for that. I had an extremely good weekend. Normally at the weekend I don't average very much. On Fridays, for example, because I'm broadcasting for 4 hours of the 8 sort of regular hours in the day, but I managed to do a lot of steps on Friday because I started on the project. And this is what I had a sense of, that if I started doing cleanup in the winter, these cleanup projects in the winter, it would act as exercise on days when it's raining. So the question is it raining? No. Then get outside and walk. And if it is, start on a project. Now, I'm not going to do a project every weekend because the idea is to have my Saturdays off to rest. But I do believe that I'm going to do one every month. Talking about doing the project, I really wanted to thank all of you who supported me in this. It was extremely difficult to be that vulnerable and show people what my closet contained. And the number of you that wrote to tell me that you were inspired by what I did, thank you, because that made it worthwhile. And that's what I had said. I was talking about it and said, as much as it embarrasses me, I believe that if I do it, it might inspire others to do it. And in which case, then it's, worth doing. But as you can probably imagine, to actually expose yourself to the to the world in terms of the mess in your closet is not easy. Let's put it that way. Not at all easy. So thank you for your support. I really did appreciate it. I must admit, on Friday, when I hit the glitch with the wall needing to be fixed, I almost cried. I was so overwhelmed, is the word, really. That's what it was. I was overwhelmed. So much stuff had come out. I couldn't believe how much stuff I had in there. However, the good news was I really loved the organizer thing that I bought, even though it was false advertising. What was on the outside of the box, the picture they showed, was not what was in the inside of the box. However, what was in the inside of the box was ideal, and therefore I didn't return it. It really showed me that for the sake of $80, I think I paid for the organizer, a day of my time, I can make a big difference in my life. And I am capable of doing it. I just don't make the time. It's the same as I was not making the time to get more active. And I blamed it on DearMamaSal, I don't have time. Well, the truth is, I was not making time to be more active. My excuse was, I'm too tired. Well, the reason I was too tired was because I was a slob. I noticed that actually doing more has helped me be capable of doing more. I think I said that this weekend, the more you do, the more you want to do. So I challenge you all this week to not change your life completely, but think about what one project you would like to start on, and try, as I did, not to make it too big. For example, my only goal was to empty the closet. I didn't have to clear all the clothes through or do anything like that. What I did is I threw them all on a pile. Oh, first thing I took out was the clothes that I didn't want to throw on a pile. You know what I mean? The clothes I really wanted to look after. Now, I wanted to tell you one other thing, just while I think about it, because I'll forget. I had clean forgotten about the clothes that were in the laundry. So to my horror last night when I was doing the laundry, I thought, where am I going to put these clothes? Because you understand, I had a week's worth of clothes sitting in the laundry basket. I'm going to have to make a plan B on this one. It's going to be quite challenging. Might have to reconfigure that that arrangement. I was looking at the clothes and I'm going, I'm not throwing these away. Obviously they are clothes that I wear every day or regularly because they were in the wash. Oops. Bad organization there, so. Or I could leave them down in the laundry room for the whole week and wait until I've used up this week's clothes and then bring up the new ones. Clever. And the viewers would never know. May have to do that. Now I hope nobody comes to visit my house today because I've got my drying rack rail thing in my lobby at the moment because I pulled it out of the laundry room. I pulled it out of the laundry room to take upstairs to my bedroom so I could hang my good clothes on there. And then last night I took it down, but then I thought, wait a minute, I've cleared all that space in the laundry room to get this rack out. I think I'm going to leave it out. When I get home tonight, I'm going to really give that a good clean where it's been. That'll be good exercise for me. For those of you wearing fitness watches, I'd like to make another suggestion. If you're doing any, what I call serious housework, cleaning windows, cleaning the staircase, doing stuff, put the watch on your dominant hand. I suddenly realized that I do, you know, these watches are based on how much you move. Well, I would like to suggest we move our right hand a whole lot more than our left. I know some of you are going, good point, Sal. I'm still wearing mine on my left today. All right, everybody. So find a project, and you don't have to do it all. As you know, I actually cleaned out my closet. I put the organizer in just so that I could test run it and make sure that it fitted and get the right configuration going, which I'm still working on. And then next weekend I'll pull everything out again, paint inside where it needs painting, and then put everything back and screw everything down properly. So what I did was I put everything back so that it's, you know, not getting creased and messed up and everything, and that I have most of my bedroom back. I do have a big pile of clothes I'm still sorting through, and then I have a couple of baskets of, as we used to say in Africa, nyaga nyaga, garbage. Well, I think it's garbage, but you know I won't want to let go of it. All right, everybody, so have a wonderful day. Excuse me. Look after one another, but most of all, look after yourself. This is Dear Mama Sal saying bye-bye for now.